Hey guys, this is Don from Pie for Life Games, and I am here with a top 32 deck profile from the Luxury Games tournament this weekend with Peter Quercia. How you doing, bud?
What's going on, brothers? Same old, same old. Can't complain. The tournament was a success. It was ran smoothly. It was just an overall great event with an amazing prize pool.
Yeah,
Granted, I wish I
agree.
could have went farther, but it happens.
Yep, but hey, top 32 is still something to be proud of. So, as you guys can see on the screen here, Peter played Adamancipator slash Rockspam. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take it away, brother.
So originally, last week, Cody Angeloff won with a similar version to this deck in a PPG tournament. I took the idea and just changed a couple of ratios here and there and added one different tech card that he didn't play. So the same core principle applies. You're running the three Adamancipator tuners, Analyzer, Researcher, and Seeker all at three. The cards are staples. That's what gets you going. It gets you to all your starter plays. You're running the one Adamancipator Crystal Dragite, I believe his name is. That he's so out of the three that there are, it's the wind, water, and fire. The only useful one is the water one because it's the only one that generates a +1 when it's summoned off an Adamancipator effect.
Mm-hmm.
So you only need one because you can also recycle it to put the water synchro back and tie that card to just span off of any of your tuners.
Right.
Going forward with the list, Block Dragon Staple. That card is absolutely amazing. I don't know what else to say about it. If you're not playing Block Dragon, it's definitely an issue in your rock deck.
Yeah, that card's too
Uh,
good not to play.
so this weekend, a lot of people decided to opt away from hand traps or remaining cards like Lightning Storm and Dark Rule and No More in their variants. I decided to stick with the DD Crow and the Nibiru package for my hand trap lineup, being that Nibiru hurts Rogue Degree over the zombie deck and a lot of other decks that utilize graveyard. I saw, I believe, someone was running rockets in there. It's just overall a useful card to hit in key situations that allows you to stall if you cannot get to a rock play.
Right.
So for my Go 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 package, the difference between mine and Cody Angelov's was I played. We both played three gloves. He played 3 Gigas. I cut it to two. I was realizing these cards at certain points are a brick. While the Go Go package makes Gallant Granite very easily, it's you still want to open tuners, and the less chance of that is the better of bricking on these cards. So I cut it to two to make room for a different card as well. And then the one ofs were the Go-Go Giant and the Utopic Onomatopia. Sorry if I pronounced that card's name wrong. Uh, Overall strong package, can't complain. I probably might cut the package down after this tournament down to less, or maybe even cut it all because it underperformed. Like I said, making Galley Granite's a cool thing, but there are better extenders that you can do that with that aren't needed to play such a high package count. Because not only are you playing these six monsters, it's accompanied by Onomato Tapera, the spell card which searches them, and then Onomato Pickup, which searches the spell card that searches them.
Right.
I also ran Doki Doki, another staple starter card. Also a Suedo extender if you hit off of a tuner early or something like that. Its effect can also be applied at any point in the game.
Right.
I opted to run one Gigantes. So Gigantes. So the idea of the deck is to make the best board turn when you can. Going second Gigantes isn't needed because then at that point you have Block Dragon set up in the graveyard, and if your board is broken, chances are you're probably losing that game anyway after turn one. So it's again making room for other cards and other extenders that do sort of similar concepts, but have different applications.
Right.
Uh, like I said, Go Go Giant. So in there, Gigas, O Lion. O Lion is arguably the best wind tuner to run that summons off Needlefiber or Hacklefax, whichever name you prefer for it. The card makes the wind synchro and allows the wind to have a quick effect on your opponent's turn just because it's a wind type. And giving the extra body once it leaves the field is always a +2 to make Appaloosa strong, with an extra negate as well.
Right.
Nibiru, like I said, I chose the hand trap route instead of the Dark Rule no more Lightning Storm uh, route. My tech of the weekend choice was Power Giant. That card overperformed in so many ways. So Power Giant's ability is you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding a level 4 or lower monster. But once you whatever monster you discarded, depending on the level, you can decrease this card's level by that monster. So if you send a 4, he becomes a 2. If you send a 2, he becomes a 4. Ultimately, it makes it so you can you can level flex to make the Wind Synchro or Herald as easy as possible. Plus, if you hit it off the Wind Synchro, he is summonable off the Wind Synchro, and that's a free 22 beater that you can provides more damage to just OTK if you're going second.
Yeah, that seems a really nice tech in the deck. I haven't really seen
Card
too many people playing Power Giant, so that's really neat.
So like Power Giant overperformed for me. I can't. There was not one time that it did not come in handy for me. Throughout the weekend, like if you watch Cody Angelo also stream and stuff like that, he was playing Weeping Idol and like uh other extenders like the Medolce rock fairy card that says you can summon her if you control no cards in your graveyard. Those cards are cool, but like I said, level manipulation is such a huge factor in this deck. I'm probably keeping Power Giant in this deck at 2. 3 is too much because the tuners can't summon Power Giant. It's like it's a love hate card at that point, and if you open one, it allows you to play. It gives you an extend like I said an extended play with if you open it, but like also hitting it off the wind seek was amazing.
Yeah.
I opted to play just the 3 Adamancipator Reborn instead of playing just those plus Monster Reborn. Reason being is because you don't need more. You don't need more than three Reborns in the deck. I think Adamancipator Signs is just a very overpowered card because it's a Reborn and it stacks your deck. So if you haven't used any of the Tuner's effects yet and you just linked it off, Reborn a Tuner, stack your deck with a Dragite or any rock you need, and it gets you to go further in your combos.
Yeah.
That card is just so absurd. Funny story about the side deck now. The night before the regional, I was like, it was maybe like 4 in the morning or so, or not. The LCS. I originally had a side deck with like Solemn Judgments and like Skullmeisters and DD Crows in there, but like as I was looking at it, the more and more, it didn't make sense to play cards like Judgment to stop cards going first and stuff like that, just to stop the Dark Ruler. Whereas you can play Anti Spell that does a better job. So I looked at Cody's list again. Again, shout out to Cody Angelo for his PVG list for ideas. And his side deck made the most absolute sense every card in every scenario that it applies in. Granted, like I said, I wish the Dark Rulers and Lightning Storms were main. Going forward, I'm probably going to put them in the main. But the side deck did its exact job all weekend. 3 anti magic arrows, 3 cosmic cyclones, and 3 lightning storms, all staple cards that just stun back row. Stuns the rock deck, not the rock deck, sorry, the zombie deck. The zombie deck was what I thought was going to be the more represented deck, considering all the hype around it, also from the PPG, because a lot of the top cut in there was all zombie, and Cody was the only rock player. Turns out I was wrong. The rock deck was actually the more represented for this tournament. And Dark Rule No More and Anti Spell super overperformed. They because the rock deck was so prevalent, Dark Ruler going second and was just super strong. And going first, when you extend your board and you just set an anti spell that way, or an IO period order, that way they can't activate their own Dark Ruler or Lightning Storms on you, is just incredibly strong.
Yeah.
The extra deck, I played one Adamancipator, Dragite, the Water Synchro, and the Wind Synchro. Those are the 2 best ones. The red one is cute again in specific situations because it's just a Rhoda for any Adamancipator card, but it doesn't do enough. Again, the point of the deck is to establish a board with interruptions and negates, and those are the 2 that only do that, and they're very easy to make. Not to mention, going second, the Water Synchro is a free non-target bounce for any card to hit on the field as long as you excavate rock monsters.
Right.
Probably one of the best synchros to come out in a long time, considering it's also generic.
Right.
A Herald of the Arclight, it's just another negate. You know, you can it also does the job against Eldritch in cool scenarios too, because they can't send Eldritch from hand to grave because it has to Eldritch has to go to graveyard and stuff like that as well. Dweller Granite, enough said on both of those. Galley Granite searches extenders, keeps your plays going, and Dweller is just a staple card, stops graveyard deck, stops the zombie deck for the trap cards going off in the turn. Very powerful card. I'm still surprised Dweller's not banned yet.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, Appaloosa, again, enough said, is just, a staple link for any combo deck now. The one card so I saw people playing and not playing. I opted to play the Boral Sword because the deck. So because the deck doesn't have a problem with OTK, you can OTK in multiple ways. Again, my concept is why work harder when you can work smarter, and just spitting four monsters out to make a Boral Sword and just swing with, like a Power Giant or like a Wind Synchro or even a Water Synchro is just so super easier than just establishing multiple monsters for game.
Right.
Neofiber, great card. Uh, Part of the combo. IP, part of the end board. Not much to say about it. It's just the fact that whatever you make off of IP becomes it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects is just absurd. I opted to run Nightmare, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. Phoenix and Unicorn are staples. Cerberus was the only one that I was iffy on because it didn't come up enough. But once again, because the Rock deck was the most dominated deck of the tournament, or most represented, it overperformed. Get rid of any card when needed. Did its job. The Link Spider is part of the combo because of O-Line giving you a vanilla token, so you can just turn it into a Link Spider to make the Appaloosa. Uh, so Topologic Trisbania, not a lot of people were playing it because more people were geared towards the mirror. But I fear the zombie deck going to this because, like I said, the results from the tournament last week were just more prevalent for zombie. The idea was to go IP into Trisbania uh, on their turn for the zombie deck, and then just special summon something, Block Dragon, Gigantes, Power Giant, even the Go-Go pieces to a degree, and just blow out the back row from the game.
Right.
Uh, and Uni Carrier. So Uni Carrier is another way to get to Block Dragon. Although the cool thing, a lot of our decks were doing this weekend, where they were going Uni Carrier into the Buster Blader card. I don't know the name of it,
Yeah.
so forgive me, but it's the one that stops cards from the extra deck.
Yeah.
And they were playing Warlord Savage, so they were equipping it to Savage, and you just could not play Yu-Gi-Oh at all. I lost to that combo at 1.2 in the tournament. But that's my deck profile.
Awesome. So, besides, you mentioned the cards that you would probably change in the main deck. Is there anything in the side or the extra that you would probably change going forward?
Side deck, so side deck. I'm definitely cutting anti magic arrows. Uh, Cody's explanation for it was the same logic as the IP in the Trisbania. So you go anti magic arrows, and then you make Trisbania, or your IP becomes a Trisbania, and then you just blow out the back row because they can't chain anything.
Right.
Although, if the format is shifting more to rocks, you don't need the anti magic arrows on the side anymore. And like you can keep the Trisbania still in the extra, but there's no point to those two cards if the format's going to be more rock based. In that case, I'd rather have more cards that do stuff versus other rock variants.
Right.
So I'm probably cutting the anti magic arrows. Cosmic is also another iffy card because I started as crazy as it sounds. My reverse theory in one of my tournament rounds, I think it was 4 or 5. I was playing the rock variant that was making the Borload Savage board with the Buster Blader card and all that. So game the application was if I side this card, because I know he sided an anti spell for me, I can still resolve my Dark Ruler Lightning Storm. As idiotic as that sounds, because the logic is just not justified there, it ended up happening where like I drew the Cosmic for top deck and had the Lightning Storm Dark Ruler with just full combo in hand, and just won the game because of the top deck Cosmic. Again, never used it after that round in the tournament because I realized the concept was bad, but it did its job there.
Yeah, for sure. It does sound like that.
uh Cosmic. Cosmic has good application versus the Eldritch deck. Maybe it joins. It can stay if Eldritch is still the second most represented deck. But other than that, the definite card coming out is Anti Magic Arrow. Everything else was perfectly fine. Oh, and Dark Rule no more. We'll probably go to the main, and that gives 6 slots on the side that just change.
Right. Yeah.
Also, Nibiru is one of those cards where, like, unfortunately, it doesn't have text anymore because all the rock variants are now switching to maining Kawaki Mirror Guardian and or making Herald first, so your Nibiru is just never gonna hit. So if the Nibiru's become Dark Rulers in the main, I probably would side something like Lava Golem, maybe Sphere Mode even. The reasoning behind Lava Golem is the Lava Golem will always stick because they'll always have a guaranteed 2 on board for monsters that just tribute. Sphere Mode isn't always guaranteed because the rock deck won't go off. It comes down to a lot logistics, how often you whiff those tuners and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's just an idea I was just throwing around there. But yeah, that's all I think I would change in the deck.
All right.
Power Giant MVP card though, that card was amazing. Shout out to Richie Duran, my best friend. He was the one that like oddly enough, before the tournament, like I said, I changed the side deck for the rock deck the night before, but like a week before, I was testing Mermails, and the testing was getting nowhere. He said to try the rock deck out. It was a combo based deck, so I sat down for an entire week and just constantly play tested this. And then the idea we bounced off the top off each other's head was Power Giant, and the card just overperformed.
Yep. It sure seems like it for sure. So overall, how was your tournament experience? What all did you play against?
So it's weird because the breakdown was predominantly rock and rogue decks. It was rock, rogue, and then eldritch. So my tournament experience was playing mostly rock. I think I played 4 rock. I played either 3 or 4 rock. I want to say it was three zombie deck, and 1 mermail and 1 Grand Magi.
Okay.
Uh, I lost the 1 rock deck and I lost 1 zombie deck, which were fine. Like those were the zombie matchup was just nothing I could do. He literally Vice Warren he charged, milled 2 traps, raided, milled another 2, and then had Eldritch plays in hand. So he just established a full board with 5 back row on turn 1 game 3. I didn't see any of my side deck cards for that. Anti Magic Arrow would have been amazing there, but it just again never drew it. And the rock player, the loss was similar to like Cody's list. It was he just makes full board and then just locked me out of my extra deck with the Buster the Buster Blader card. Once you're the problem with this deck is even if you Dark Rule no more that board with the Buster Welt, you still can't access your extra deck, and not being able to run over anything that's close to remotely close to 3,000 is just absurd.
Right. Yeah.
And then the top 32, I played Tristan. Again, I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry, Pew. Great European player. It was just unfortunate. I could not play his version was more prepared for the mirror than mine was. Uh, Running the Guardians and the Mecha Phanta Beast Link to just extend.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But
Regardless, though,
the
you did really well in the tournament, and it was what 240 players total.
it was like 244, 243, something like that.
Okay.
It was still it was still a huge tournament, and like these tournaments are similar to PPG or even ARG back in the day in the sense where like you're not playing a bunch of randoms. You're not playing at a YCS where like your first 4 rounds are just gonna be no name players. You're bound to run into people who have credentials, who establish themselves in the game to a degree, and that are on a very competitive level. So like the competition is definitely will be there every round. You
Right.
can't just slack because uh, you don't see the person's name that's like a representative of the community.
Right. Exactly. All right. So, any shout outs that you'd like to give?
Yeah, shout out to my Team Plus guys. They help me out testing wise. They constantly bounce ideas. Shout out to the owner, the captain, Cody Edwards. He did everything. He literally also brought the rock deck to my attention because he saw that like I was getting nowhere with Mermail. he was like, "Yo, this deck is more your style. Try it out." Between him and shout out again to Richie Duran. You know, I wouldn't have been able to come up with a deck list that would have performed as well, as good as it did. They definitely were motivators in this. The rest of the team, shout out to Team Plus guys, uh, helped me. You know, Taz play the matchups I needed to learn the meta because I wasn't really focusing much on the zombie deck because I originally didn't know what it did until a week ago either. So that's what happens there. Also, shout out to one of my best friends, Corey Shell. You know, he was helping. He he explained the meta and the zombie deck to an in-depth level, so I can have an understanding of like how it functions and how the variants work and stuff like that. So I didn't go into this event blind. Very helpful. Huge shout out to him, and huge shout out to my friend Nico Watson. Uh, without any of the again, without anyone who I've shouted out, everyone I don't know where I'd be. Uh, yeah, that's everyone I would like to shout out.
All right. Thank you again for giving us your deck profile, and congratulations again on getting to top 32 in the LCS. And if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more future competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. And this is Don from Pie for Life signing out.